Hi and welcome to another frivolous episode. Oh, it is shaking. I'm bringing you today one of those nobody asked you videos, but I still wanted to do it anyway. This is a peek into the makeup bag that I brought with me to that event that I went to close to Barcelona. I was going to be the MC of a very big dance festival, and that entails presenting prelims, competitions, bands, stuff like that throughout the whole evening. I was super nervous. If you're wondering, I was very anxious and nervous because ever since the plague I haven't done any MCing, and it was my first event and it was a huge event to start with. So I was pretty nervous and anxious. I don't know if I could still do it, but it went great and I'm super happy with how it went and all the feedback that I got. I did my job well. That's what matters to me. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it went, and this is a huge festival. I wanted to bring some very flashy and happy and joyful makeup, but I had some restrictions. First, I had to get ready way before the main event, which is the night party, because I had to go through meetings and then go straight to the prelims presentation, and we have a very short amount of dinner time and then straight to the night event. So I had to start getting ready at about 4 or 5 p.m. Everybody was still doing classes and getting, you know, some sunshine, going to the beach and all that, and I was starting to get ready. That was one of the things. It had to be long wearing. And the other thing is that the place where we stay doesn't have, you know, the most luxurious accommodation. It is kind of an old summer camp colony vacation kind of thing for kids. So it has just bunk beds, a small place to put your bags, and no surface whatsoever where to sit on or at and do your makeup. There's no table, no anything. So I knew that. I've done this job for a long time, so I knew what was expecting me. So I knew I had to bring makeup that I could sit on the floor in the balcony with everything by my feet and just slap it on, be quite quick, very easy to do, and at the same time I wanted to bring some pretty impactful, kind of joyful looks. So these are the products that I chose to bring with me. You know, if you have an event, you may take some inspiration from these products. I already slapped on my base products, so I'm going to go through them very quickly, and then I'm going to show you one of the evening looks that I did and show you how I did it. I don't know if it's interesting for you, but I thought, what the heck? Let's try it. So, the first thing, as a foundation, I only brought the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Ease Drop foundation, skin tint, whatever. I don't think this is a skin tint. In my book, this is a foundation with a bit of a lighter coverage. I can build it up. It holds on really well on my skin. I know I did an up close and personal where it didn't work out as well, but ever since I've been using, not ever since, but I've gone back to the product and I started using it, and it stays, or it becomes shiny a bit quicker on my skin than I would like it to, but it stays that way and it doesn't move on my skin, which is great. I have quite oily skin. This was a quite stressful, long wearing kind of thing, so this was a great one to use, because if it started to fade on my face, it didn't have lots of coverage, so I didn't have those patches of skin showing through. It just fades, blends in with the skin, not too much coverage, fine. For concealer, I brought the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. This is an old favorite. It has very good coverage. I can use it under the eyes, on blemishes, all that good stuff. And then my full face palette is this View Set mini palette that you've seen many times before on my channel. This is something that I carry with me everywhere. And these are the shades that I have. I have repotted this palette. I don't think I posted that video, but I still have the footage. If you're interested, I can post it. Just let me know in the comments below. But these are the shades that I brought. This is a foundation by Cover FX, a cream foundation. I think Cover FX is probably going out of business, which is sad because Cover FX, alongside with maybe MAC and Makeup Forever, before the Fenty advent, this was one of the few very inclusive brands with lots of shades of foundation. So it's a bit sad to see them go. I think they are going. They haven't announced anything. It just feels like they haven't been bringing anything new to the market, you know. But anyway, this is their foundation, their cream foundation, which I love. And again, they have light olive undertones for their foundations. Don't go, please. This is the natasha blusher in Hush Hush from that big palette, the cream palette. This is Bareback from Nude Sticks. This is Milk Quickie, I think, the big stick blusher. All these are blushes. This one is a highlighter from Chanel, the one that has a bit of tint, also in a stick. And this shade here is the bronzer that I brought, which is natasha Light 3 or 4, the darkest in the light range. The Bomb Contours, I use them as bronzers because they have beautiful bronzing colors. And then for powder, I brought, as usual, my little Laura Mercier powder, loose powder kind of jar that is great for traveling, and it is filled with actual Laura Mercier powder this time, so in case you're wondering, that's what's in there. And the last but not least, a powder foundation. I bring this for topping up, for mattifying a bit, topping up some coverage that I may need, and also if you have any, if you know, those big blemishes that feel very slippy and shiny on the skin, and to which makeup, at least your conventional concealers, don't seem to be able to stick to, try a powder foundation. Picking it up with your sponge and just pressing it onto the blemish. This is what gives me coverage for those situations. Fortunately, while I was there, my skin was absolutely fine in terms of blemishes. It was wonderful, wonderful. But this is my base, and this is what I've done and what I have applied to my face at the moment. All of that I could have done with just the sponge, including the powders. I don't mind applying them with this area of the sponge, so super chuffed. But now let's jump into the fun part of the products that I brought, which are the eye colors. The first thing I popped in my makeup bag was the emergency kind of eyeshadow that I knew I could pop in seconds on my eyes and just dot it with my fingers, and I would have a very festivally, glittery, joyful look with zero effort. And that's from the Twin Flames from natasha. I can't see the name because glasses, but I will put the name down below. This is one of my favorite colors. It shifts from a base color of, I'd say, pale gold to a bright minty green with a bit of turquoise in there. Really, really nice. So that was my emergency kind of thing, and I used it to give a bit of gleam on the first night. I will not recreate that look today, but that's one of the things that I used. And then I brought these two. These are from NEVAH. These are the Cupid's Arrow pencils. These are not chubby pencils. You can use them also as liners. They have a sharpener in the back. They're not too chubby that you can't use them, you know, in a finer, more precise way. These are beautiful base colors. And I brought one in lavender, which is this one, and this one is dragon fruit. So these are the two that I brought with me. I knew I would get a huge use out of these colors. Again, this dragon fruit color, just doing one line of this on the eye and I would have a pretty impactful thing that I could just do that and be out the door. So that's the kind of stuff I went with. And then the star of my eyes, quite literally, is a little palette that I created with singles, both from actual singles and from palettes that you can pop out the pans. And yeah, this is the selection that I did, and let me go through all the shades with you. These first two in this corner here are from the pastel palette from Natasha Denona. This red magenta color is from Colourpop Meteor Hue palette, the rainbow palette that I own. These two on the corner here are also from Natasha Denona. On the lower side I have Safari from the Camel palette. On the top I have Galaxy from the Star palette. Then these two in the middle, the darker browns, are both from the that's Taupe palette from Colourpop, and then we go into the fun colors. So the first one here is a shift from, you know, a pinky color to a very light pinky color to a turquoisey blue, and it's called Patinated. It's from Glamlight. Next up I have this beautiful brown based, but then basically shifting from gold to green with a bit of pink in there. It's super interesting. This is Unexpected by JD Glow. I used this one in the first night alongside with the Denona Myrix Twin Flames for a greeny kind of look. It was really fun, and it got me started, you know. Then we have Glaminatrix Cosmetics. This is Peri-Twinkle. It's basically a very shimmery periwinkle eyeshadow with a silver shift, and it's absolutely gorgeous. These all look absolutely wet on your skin, which I love. And then we have the one that I'm going to use today, which is Pink Flamingo. This is a pressed glitter. It's not an eyeshadow, but it's phenomenal. I don't do glitters very often because when they're really flaky and they fall over your face, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think there's a time and place for all of that, but you know, I like my glitters to stay where I put them. Not all of them are easy to manage. This is super easy to manage. This is by With Love Cosmetics, by the way. It's called Pink Flamingo, if I haven't mentioned that. And it just, you press your finger onto it, you'll see me apply it, press it onto your skin, and it immediately transfers and sticks. So super easy, super easy. So I'm gonna show you a few swatches from afar. So again, Patinated by Glam Shop. This is Unexpected from JD Glow, the one with the green. The blue is Peri-Twinkle from Glaminatrix, and this is Pink Flamingo by With Love Cosmetics. My favorite kind of pressed glitters that I've tried so far are from them. So in case you're wondering, super impactful. Without further ado, I'm gonna jump and do my eyes to show you what I did on that evening, and I hope you're inspired and have fun with it. So let's jump into that. Well, it's been a while since I did this kind of tutorialistic kind of things. For primers, I forgot to mention, I brought the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer for the eyes, which I adore. Nobody talks about this. It's great for oily lids that crease easily, and it makes your eyeshadows pop quite a lot, especially if you don't set it. And then the NYX Glitter Primer, because better safe than sorry when it comes to glitters. So just a touch of the primer all over the eye, or mostly on the movable lid kind of area. And then I started with Nabla Cupid's Arrow in the dragon fruit color, and I just scribbled a line along my lashes and then a bit on the outer corner, which I then blended with a clean brush. This is by Refa, if you're wondering. It's 26. It's my favorite brush from them. It's a pencil brush. I don't need this to be all very neat. I just want to have a pink base on my eyes. These cream eyeshadows give you a bit of time to play and before they set, which is great. So yeah. And if you're really in a hurry, you can blend them with your fingers. I have glitter on my fingers from swatching. So sorry about that. Okay, and now I'm going to pick up the darkest red shadow, magenta shadow from Colourpop with the same brush and just press it onto the outer corner just to make sure I have a pretty impactful outer corner. This is the darkest shade that I'm going to use, so there you go. Taking a clean blending brush, just making sure everything is sort of blended out. Making sure my eyes are relaxed when I do my outer corner helps quite a bit because my eyes have, 42 years of use. So they are starting to fall down a bit and have a heavier fold on the outer corner. But that's how life rolls. I'm gonna take the same color just on the tip of the brush and apply it on the lower lash line, only halfway through. Now I'm gonna take the star of the show. I'm gonna take the NYX glitter glue. I use this just as a precaution. I think this glitter sticks onto your eyes regardless of having glitter glue or not. It just transfers from your skin, from your finger to the skin on your eyes just seamlessly. It's beautiful. And then I'm just going to pick up that color. Here it is. Hardly no fallout basically, and I'm just going to press it. Can you just see that? It's done. It's done. Basically, it's done. I mean, for going out, for having fun, this is a beautiful color and hardly any residue on my fingers, if you can see that. And now I'm going to take that Cupid's arrow color, fill in the inner corner, and again, blend. Did that on my inner corner, and then I'm gonna go back into my palette, taking this shade here, which has a name. It's called Feather from the Natasha Denona pastel palette, and with that same brush, just picking it up and setting the inner corner, and this gives you a brighter pop. It's not as lavenderish, it has a bit of pink to it, but it gives you a beautiful transition. And again, if you're hearing the construction, nothing I can do, I'm sorry. And then I'm just going to bring a bit of this on my outer corners to make it more lively, I should say. Yeah. And I'm going to put on a bit of concealer, just cleaning up underneath the eyes. I'm going to line the inner rims of my eyes, both top and bottom. I've been using the KVD Tattoo Pencil Liner, also the Sephora one, which is very similar. I've been trying to find the perfect match for my dearly departed Marc Jacobs one. These are both very similar, so if you don't mind a sharpenable pencil, the Sephora one is the cheapest. So both top and bottom. I could go in with the magenta on the inner rims, but I'm a bigger fan of this black. I know it makes my eyes smaller, but I don't care. Finally, Clinique Lash Power mascara, and you may wonder, well, you showed that on your empties, isn't it empty? Actually, it wasn't, and I used the Lash Impact, the other one, the other tubing one from Clinique, a couple of times, and it is still too wet, or it was too wet, and it just gave me a bit of length but no volume. So I went back, picked this up, and just moved it around, kind of trying to scrape the sides, and I can still make this work, and this gives me far more volume. So that's what I ended up bringing with me on my trip. There you go. It doesn't even need that much building up when it's a bit more dry. I don't do fake lashes, so this is as close to a thicker, voluminous, feathery lash that I can get. A bit on the bottom. And it's good and done. I just need to do a bit of cleaning underneath my eyes, and let's jump onto the lips. Light is fading so quickly right now. The autumn and winter are upon us, and I do not like that. I'm not anticipating the sad that I'm gonna be for several months when it gets darker, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's talk about the 4 lip products that I brought with me on this trip. First one is the Sigma Renew Lip Oil. Love this. It's almost like a gloss, super hydrating, super shiny. You can use it as a top-up, as a top coat, on its own, just to give it a little bit of shine. Super hydrating. Yeah, love it. Then I had the Romand Juicy Lasting Tint. This is number 24. Peeling Angdu. I don't know what it means, but nice. Beautiful color. It is a bit my lips, but better, with a hint of a deeper raspberry in it. That's how I can describe it. It is a gorgeous, a bit more subtle tint to the lips than the one that I'm going to mention next. It's not as long wearing, but it's super easy to reapply. It stays super juicy on the lips. It doesn't emphasize any cracks or, you know, dryness, anything like that. Your lips always look very hydrated and beautiful. The color stays really well, especially if you layer it and let it set for a few minutes and you go out about your day. It stays really well. It doesn't endure food and drink like other tints do, but it's really easy to carry on your person, reapply. I love using this on a daily basis. Then I brought another lip tint, and this is a powerhouse. This is by Tony Moly. You can get it through YesStyle, the same as with Romand, and this is the Perfect Lips Shocking Lip Tint. This one is in Rose Shocking, although this is not a rose color. It's a very deep, bricky red. And I have a funny story regarding this. This is the ultimate powerhouse. Forget Fenty. Fenty has nothing on this bad boy, at least on my lips. Let's keep that caveat. I applied this after the event was done. This was by a beach, close to a beach. So I stayed on that beach for the next week to have my only vacation of the year. And one of the evenings I applied this at about 7 something p.m., 8 p.m. before dinner. I had dinner, I talked a lot, you know, the usual. I went back to the hotel, and when I tried to take this off, it wasn't coming off. Not with my favorite lip balm, not with scrubbing my lips. I gave up eventually. I didn't want to destroy my lips. There was a bit of fading on my top lip. The bottom lip was perfect. And I thought, well, I'm going to apply lip balm and I'm going to get my sheets dirty, but that's life. Next morning, I wake up, my sheets are impeccable, and this stuff is still on my face. And I showed it on Instagram stories. I still had it on my lips, remnants, but still, especially on my lower lip. I don't know, 12, no, more than that, 16 hours later after the first application. This is a powerhouse. This lasts forever. It's not as glossy, or it doesn't have as glossy a finish as the Fenty one off the bat, because the Fenty one stays glossy for a longer amount of time, but this one lasts longer and it doesn't dry my lips out, which I very much appreciate, unless you try to scrub it off. Then it will leave you dry. And then we have the oddball. I know. This is from Paula's Choice. This is a lipstick called Persistent Pink. I do not know if she still makes them. I'll try to find that out and link it in my blogs as usual. But basically, my favorite Lisa Eldridge lipstick with bright pink lipstick, which is Skyscraper Rose, broke. So I couldn't bring it on holidays because it would, too much danger. So I decided to look and see if I had something similar. And I stumbled upon this. It was a gift with purchase or something like that. And they're basically dupes. It's a matte finish lipstick. It looks great on the lips. It doesn't emphasize dryness or anything. It has that bright pink. Maybe a tad less saturated. And yeah. I applied this once when I did my makeup, and then another time after dinner time, right before the event, the main event in the evening. And I don't know if I've reapplied this again until 3 a.m. and it was still on my lips at the end of the day. So I would say the great discovery of these vacations, of this week, was this lipstick, which I paired with the eyes, the pink eyes, because I'm a sucker for monochromatic looks, and I even took a bit of the lipstick and applied it just on the main area of the apples of the cheek, just to have a bit of that color going through everywhere and bringing it a bit close to the outer corner of the eye. And there you go. I mean, isn't this nice? Oh, my hair is completely destroyed. Thanks. I forgot, but I came back to tell you. Kryolan Ultra Setting Vaporizer. I mentioned this. This is hairspray for the face. Now, I always finished up my makeup with this. It doesn't change the look of your makeup in any way. It doesn't mattify or become more satiny in any way, shape or form. It just dries and glues your makeup to your face, including mascara and eyeshadow, which is phenomenal. This is a smaller can, there's a bigger one, and they have also a spritzy one that was sold out when I tried to buy it. But this formula is wonderful. Highly recommend if you're a performer, if you're an artist, you need to wear makeup and you have to be under bright lights. I probably am the last artist or performer that wears stage makeup to discover this, but it's always nice to share, I guess. So this is a great one, especially if you're under intense conditions like sweating, moving around, you need to glue that to your face. This is a good one for that kind of situation. Of course, you can wear it when you're going out and stuff. Just be aware it is strong in terms of the scent. It disappears, but it has a strong, alcohol-y scent, and you can feel it setting on your face. It doesn't feel drying, but the first impact feels like it's going to dry you out, but it doesn't, I promise, at least not on my oily skin. But that's it. Now we're done. But yeah, this is the finished look. I was super chuffed with it and with all the looks that I made or that I created throughout the whole weekend. I'm just sad that I couldn't take good pictures, you know, of them, because I was either sitting in a very sad, uncomfortable, ugly, concrete kind of balcony trying to just do my makeup and get ready and run out the door, or I was working, so I couldn't say, hey band, stop playing, hey dancers, stop dancing, I need to take the stage light for myself for a moment and take a selfie of my makeup. That's not how it works, or at least not how I carry myself professionally. So that's the only sad thing, is that I don't have any good pictures and a good register in a way of those makeup moments to share. But that's such as life, you know. I had a ball. I rested a lot during my little vacation on the beach. I was super happy, and yes, and it was fun to have, you know, to be wearing glitter whenever I wanted without feeling those kinds of glances like, why is she wearing glitter in the middle of the day? Isn't she a 42-year-old woman? You know, I don't mind, I wear it anyway, but it's still, you know, it feels freeing when nobody cares, and I like that. But anyway, this was my video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me comments down below seeing what you want to see next from me. Share with me your favorite, you know, quick party transformation trick with your makeup, the thing that you carry in your bag, you slap it on your face and you're in party mode. And as usual, thank you for spending your time on me, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.